Hey, what's up, YouTubers?
Guess that makes sense. Yeah.
Guess what time it is?
It's
coffee time.
Kids started to say things like,
So,
Peppa Pig is
a
British.
Viking
They had no clue it wasn't American.
vanilla latte
So here's my marketing idea.
for a large
Okay. For the rise.
German.
Instead of the
Oh,
word big,
these are so good.
use the word rise, and then Smitty's calling out
Mm.
numbers during the matches.
Oh my gosh.
More.
There's nothing like a strong
Bluey card. Blue is,
cup of coffee
Bingo's sister.
that's not healthy for you to drink. But who wants to live forever? I don't want to live forever. I just want a good cup of coffee. So yesterday my son-in-law was off to the military, and this morning before they shut his phone off, I could see he was in the barracks, and I'm familiar with the barracks. He's getting his getting outfitted, so to speak, first thing this morning. And here shortly, if they haven't done it already, he will have lost his phone and any other personal effects that he's not allowed to have will be gone. We put into a sack and stored for a later time. So excited for my son-in-law. He's such a good kid, and I can't wait to get my first report from that young man. You know, it's the same facility my son went to, my dad, my grandfather, my father-in-law, and our adopted grandparents, Rich, went to the same fort. I'm not mentioning names, and so super excited for that. So I think my buddy Doug went there too. He may have gone to Georgia. I'm not sure. I haven't talked to him again. I can't remember. It's over 30 years ago. So anyway, so that and a cup of coffee, and my daughter seems to be doing or handling it okay. You know, she came downstairs and cranked it out on the treadmill, I think, probably just to kind of burn off some frustration and get herself tired so she can go to sleep and really burn off that anxiety, that nervous energy. So I hope she slept well. I haven't seen her yet today, but I'll see her a little bit later on. Man, if you could taste this coffee, I'm telling you, this kind of coffee, it's like if your wife made you this kind of coffee, you wouldn't you wouldn't leave the house. Like, make me another cup. And so far, you know, this place I go to, man, has just been nailing it every time. When I first started going there was a couple I was like, I don't know if I like that. That one's not so hot. But no, these last 7 have been spot freaking on. And yeah, it's like super creamy. Man, Santa approves for sure. No coal for them. Yeah, no coal for them. And I usually get the same 2 girls, except for yesterday. I think it may have been the owner, but I didn't have time to talk because there's people behind me. So you say the polite things and blah, 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 and smile and off you go. And I'll probably leave them a review today on Google because they do such a good job. I'm not a big tipper, especially at the price of the coffee. It's like, you know what? The tip's got to be included in this because this ain't cheap. I can get the same cup at another franchise for $2 less. But this is convenient for me because I drive a big truck. So if I drove to the other place, I would eat that $2 and then some just to get there. And So it's just not worth it. You know, some people just don't want to stop at a stop sign. And if that little bastard had hit me, he'd be getting his ass beat before he goes to work. Pardon my language. My foul mouth comes right out on stupid drivers and people that almost hit me. I don't play around. Yeah, I'm a nice guy. I believe in the Lord, but I'll break your nose and knock your teeth out in a heartbeat. I'm usually, I would certainly be justified in doing so. I'm not a believer in if he slaps your cheek, turn the other one over and let him slap the other side. I don't believe with that. I don't believe it means just that. Oh my gosh, that's such good coffee. And I got one for my beautiful wife. And so I'll be dropping that off to her in like 5 seconds. Well, more than 5 seconds, more like a minute. So I'm going to duck out and go give my beloved a cup of coffee. It's one of her favorites. She loves it. But my wife can drink the hottest coffee. I'm not kidding you. Where it sets my mouth on fire, and she could slam it. Boom, gone. I don't know how she does it. You know, she's like, well, it's the best when it's the hottest. I want to be able to taste it and have taste buds left when I'm done. But not her, man. She'll gone. We're making a trip someplace, and I'm still nursing mine. Hers is gone. I'm gonna go by another establishment. She's like, you want to stop for another one? I'm like, no, I'm still sucking on this one. So anyway, I'll be right back. I haven't figured out how to pause this and then pick it back up again. So I don't know if that just means I just need to get a different phone, different camera. I don't know. But when I get more subscribers, I'll probably figure that out. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, Jack. That's so nice. She comes out and greets me in her cute little PJs. Gives me a big old sloppy wet kiss. Those are like the best kinds of kisses, man. You know, that's when you know your wife loves you, when she's like slobbering on your face. So it's like, yeah. So anyway, I didn't really have a topic for this video, other than just wanted to mention my son-in-law, and you know, and if anybody else has family that's in the service, man, kudos to them. You know, I mean, it's just like it is a huge lifestyle change, and it's a commitment. I mean, it's 2 years, 4 years, it's a commitment. And it's a good one. And a lot of guys, when they come out better men. You know, depending on their drill instructor, and because you can get a crappy drill instructor, you can get a real shithead. A buddy of mine's son went in. He went to the same fort, same camp, same boot camp, and I think it had to do with mines or something, mine detection, mine sweeping or something. Anyway, so this DI failed like 31 guys in his class, and the failure rate they thought was bullshit. And but this guy'd been a total dick during that I don't want to say but during that during the training time. and it had been reported so. So anyway, long story short, he's thinking he's failed. He's getting the boot, and somebody stepped in and said, no, this is bullshit. This failure rate is way too high. So they retested all those boys, and guess what? Every one of those guys passed. So that DI didn't get. I believe he got reprimanded. But he paid a price for that stupidity, as he should. So we have some feckless people in our military, and Pete and Trump they're getting those people out of there, and you got to earn the right to be there. You got to earn it, and it can't be based on your color or your gender or none of that nonsense. And we can't have men in there dressed as women in military uniform. That should never, ever, ever happen. And men and women should not be training in the same facility, housed in the same barracks, training together. Because women can't perform as men, period. I don't give pardon my language, I don't give two shits. I'm 294 pounds. And there's a lady that said, if you're over a certain, I watched this on a YouTube video. If you're such and such a weight and you can't pull down, you can't do a lat pull down of your weight, you couldn't do a pull up. That's an ignorant woman. Because I'm 294 and I can do quite a few pull ups. I've never counted. But I've had to show people that, I can do a pull-up. I'm a big dude. I can do a pull-up. These big arms, they're not fat. They're not blubber. And so, I could pull up. I could push up. I could drag. You name it. Anyway, so these people just crack me up. And I know when my son was in, I think they had... I can't remember if there's females above or below them in the same barracks, and I thought, well, that's some bullshit there, and that should not happen. Women and men need to be separated, and women shouldn't be in combat. Not on the front lines. They could be in a support role, or maybe in an aircraft, but women don't have the same killer instinct as men. They don't have the upper body strength as men, and they can't compete. They can't compete. In law enforcement, I saw the same thing. You're not going to get a chubby 180-pound female without drawing her gun or pepper spray or a taser on a guy my size. It's not going to happen. We need to go back to physical standards. Michigan State Police used to have a height standard and a weight standard. And back in the day, we had some really impressive state troopers physically. They just looked physically impressive. And now we have, Barney Fife. We got Big Butt Bertha. You have some really physically unfit people in uniform, and we give them a gun and the responsibility to intervene in a fist fight, bar fight, domestic, bank robbery, drug driving. And I'm telling you, criminals, if they've been in prison long enough, they size you up, and they get really good at sizing up their opponent. And so if you pull over a guy that's been to prison, say 10, 15 years, and he's been to a hard prison, he's pretty good at sizing you up. And if you give that retard an inch, he'll probably take your gun and cut your throat. That's just the facts. These guys are just vicious. So I had a good friend of mine when I first got started. got me introduced into powerlifting. And I think I may have said this before, but you always want to be bigger than your subject. You want to be stronger than him or her, because it's easier for you and it's easier for them. Nobody gets hurt. You know, you're quickly able to subdue the offender and effectively make a safe arrest without anybody, getting seriously injured. And that's how it should be. And I know if it were up to me and I had my say, if you couldn't meet the physical standard of the job, this goes for firemen as well. If you can't meet the standard, then you can't be there. It's like Navy SEALs, dude. It's a tough process to go through, and you may have a class of 300, and by the time it's over with, you might have 10, 15 guys that graduate, maybe, out of 300. It's not for everybody, and it shouldn't be, because the demand placed on those guys is huge, and you want the best of the best out there, doing the most dangerous jobs that they're being asked to do. So it's the same thing applies for law enforcement. We need to have the best people out there, mentally and physically, that can quickly make those split-second decisions and be able to not only save their own lives, but save the lives of others. And I'm here to tell you, man, a gunfight can kick off so fast. It's unbelievable. And there's tons of YouTube videos. There's a guy out there I like to watch. I think it's a Donut Operator. He's a former law enforcement guy. There's a couple former law enforcement guys that critique shootings and interactions with law enforcement. Some are deadly and some aren't, but you can learn a lot from some of these guys, because they break the videos down and into the do's and don'ts, and as a civilian, you can save your life. And for the longest time, there's always this argument: do I carry when I do carry with a round in the chamber or not? If you have to ask that question, you shouldn't be carrying a gun. Seriously, that firearm should always be ready to operate in the blink of an eye. That's what it's there for. Because you don't have, oh, wait a minute, let me chamber around first. Let me make sure my mag's topped off. Let me make sure all my rounds are seated properly, so they feed through the process flawlessly. Oh, did I tell you how good this coffee was? My God, this is good coffee. Anyway, so I know I go on a tangent sometimes. It's just a rant. There's so many things to talk about. There's so much going on in our world today, and it's so important to be observant in what's going on around you all the time. I mean, if you notice, I'm driving, but I'm always looking around. I'm always checking my mirrors. I'm always looking to see who's coming up on me when I come to a stop. Is the knucklehead behind me going to stop? Or is he going too fast? Or do I need to go around this car that's in front of me? Or do I need to brace myself? You got to be aware of that stuff. There was a young man that was killed, and I watched this channel on YouTube. It was Desert Drifter, and really loved this guy. And he's Christian, and he went to some really fascinating places that I would love to go to. And I thought to myself, man, I'd love to hook up with him and visit those places, and then have him give me a lesson, and show me what to look for, and then really be able to enjoy that type of outdoor adventure. He was young. I think he was 36. And he was sitting on a stoplight and got rear-ended by a minivan. And the speed zone through there was 35. And it shot his car through the intersection into a building where he suffered a massive head and brain trauma that he did not come back from. And I was incredibly sad. I'd been watching his videos for 2 or 3 years, and so you feel like you get to know somebody, and so it was like, it was kind of emotionally hard for me to see this young man pass away. I mean, this was a guy that believed in Jesus Christ, and he had a beautiful wife, and they would do these adventures together periodically, and not very many. I think I saw around 2, but I haven't watched all of his videos. He's got a lot of videos, and his videos are still out there. I know his wife talked about whether or not they should keep him going, and I'm like, yeah, leave him on there. He may not be with us, but he's still with us on YouTube, and his adventures are still there, and there's people that haven't seen him yet. So leave him out there so that others can experience what he did. So it's super awesome. And his editing was fantastic. The picture quality was phenomenal. And like I said, his YouTube channel was Desert Drifter. And so if you get a chance, check it out. Drop his wife a note in the comment section, and let her know how much you appreciate his videos. And I did. So I hope you do the same. But please like and subscribe to my video, and mostly I'm just giving my opinion. I'm just having a conversation. I've said this before, and I'll keep saying it on and off, but I look at it like, you and I having a cup of coffee together, and we're just shooting the crap at, Jim Bob's restaurant. And we're just talking about everything else that's going on. Wife, kids, work, government, religion, all the good things. Trucks. Did I say guns? Did I say I'm big into guns? I'm big into guns. I love to shoot. I have quite a few guns I carry every day. It's better to have it and never need it than need it and never have it. I believe in that motto. I've been carrying for 35 years. It goes with me everywhere. So anyway, like and subscribe, and leave a comment, and thanks for tuning in. And I'm not sure what to title this video other than morning coffee rant or something. Morning coffee discussion. I don't know. I'll figure out a name or something. So anyway, so have a great day. Sun is kind of trying to peek out. We'll see what happens. So God bless you, and thanks for watching.